What's up, YouTube and Facebook? Blue Dooley in the office today, and this video is about the Ender3 Pro 3D printer my wife got me for Christmas because she's awesome. And printing things in 3D is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I mean, yeah, I think it'd be cool to make my own parts, and it'd be kind of fun. And now that I'm on my fourth print, which is what you see on the screen right now, it's really awesome, not gonna lie. The printer itself comes with the slicing software, which is what is open. This is an updated version because the one that came with the printer was a little outdated, so it said update available, so I updated it. The Ultimaker Cura is what you use to orient the parts on your printer and tells the printer how to print it, basically, and at what settings. How thick you want the walls, how much infill, how fine of a print you want. It tells you how long it'll take to print the part and approximately how much filament you need to print the part. There's quite a few settings that I'm still messing with. I have turned my print speed down a little, as I've seen suggested, to keep the Ender3 Pro from stringing. I think the Ender3 has the same problem. It kind of strings a little bit. And it mentioned print speed is kind of one of the variables that can affect that. So the Cura software is actually pretty easy to use. Excuse me, at least for me. One of the other things I printed is a BattleTech Mini. This is the Timberwolf Prime. And I didn't print it in its normal miniature size. This is, they're usually 42 millimeters. It's the normal size for the tabletop game BattleTech. And I think 42-ish millimeters, maybe a little smaller, is kind of a standard mini for most tabletop games like Warhammer, Pathfinder, D&D. If you've played tabletop games with minis, you kind of know what size they are. There are a lot of minis out on the internet you can get 3D files of. And whether you pay for them or you go to Thingiverse and get them for free, which is what I did, this little guy was free, I can print an army of them if I want. This software that comes with the printer also allows you to scale parts up or down to make them a little bigger or smaller. So when I printed mine, I made him 110 millimeters tall, and I'll show you that print when I switch to the other camera to go over the printer itself. So this software, if all you want to do is get a printer and print and not make your own parts, fairly straightforward. You could watch a YouTube tutorial on using Cura and setting up your printer and just find what you want to print, download your files, open them in this, throw it in your printer, print it, and you'll be fine. And the part I'm printing is a battery relocation tray for the HPI Venture. I'll put a link to this in the description box. I'll put a link to the BattleTech Mini I printed in the description box. I also printed off an anime style Catgirl because I like anime. And if you'd seen the top of my desk, I have a few anime figurines from various animes. I'm just kind of nerdy like that. But this is my first RC car part I'm printing from the printer, just to see how it does. I did adjust a few settings in here, which is why it's going to take a little longer because I slowed down the print speed. But let me switch to the regular camera, and we will talk about how easy it was to assemble the printer, how it's set up. You can actually see it printing, and yeah, and then kind of my overall impression of the machine so far. Alright, here is the printer running. This is printing the battery relocation tray like I mentioned. The printer is somewhat assembled when you get it in the box, as in all of this print head is put together, the base and the table are assembled. The little control board here you need to attach then put the uprights together, and then put the cross piece together, mount the extruder head, and then it's plug and play. Just hook up a few wires and you're good to go. Leveling the bed is pretty straightforward. It just says slip a piece of paper between the bed and the nozzle, and if there's a little bit of resistance moving the paper, that's where the bed needs to be. Didn't take me very long at all to get the machine put together. I want to say it took me maybe a little over an hour to get the machine put together and powered up, and then probably 15-20 minutes to get the bed leveled. There's a setting in here where you can disable the stepper motors because you don't want to move anything on a 3D printer without disabling them, or you'll actually feed voltage back through all the components. So what I did was actually just went into the menu, manually positioned the nozzle so it was above each of the adjusters, and just went from corner to corner to adjust it. And I actually haven't had any problems printing yet. The machine is really quiet. There's a little noticeable smell if I close the office door for too long. Like if I'm trying to do voiceover on videos or something. But with the office door open and I have the ceiling fan on because I got a little warm with the extra light on so I could record myself. So the machine, I can't smell anything right now. The fan's actually louder than the stepper motors that actually move the head around. Overall build quality, it seems pretty solid. There are lock washers where needed. I did put, for the power supply, I did put a little blue Loctite on, just to be sure. It might not actually need it. The printer does come with some extra hardware. It comes with all the tools you need. If you don't have any tools, it comes with everything you need to put it together. It also comes with a little spatula to kind of scrape parts off. It did come with some zip ties to tidy up the wires. And then for cleaning up parts, it came with this little pair of nippers, which is actually the only disappointing thing I've found with the machine, is these they're not very good. They work, but you might want to get a little better set of side cutters. I'll reach over here. So, in the baggie, all the Allen wrenches you need to assemble it are included. A couple of box end wrenches, a little flat head screwdriver, and then a very thin piece of wire to clean the extruder nozzle. It does have an extra nozzle and extra little parts for like here and here for where the filament runs through the tube. And then also has, actually it comes with a few extra nozzles in another baggie. So, as I said, overall build quality, the machine seems pretty sturdy. This is the fourth print, as I mentioned. I'll move the camera back and show you the other prints I did. But overall, I'm really pleased with the way this was put together and how kind of easy it was to jump in if you just download a file and just want to print. Alright. Here are the 3 things I printed so far. And the HPI Venture with the Power Wagon body, just kind of for scale. The figures are a little taller than the tire. This little guy is the puppy dog test print, and he's kind of cute. I don't know how detailed you can see there. With a 3D printer, you'll always have a little bit of lines. Focus. Yeah. Anyways, he comes with the printer. Then I found this little gal on Thingiverse. She doesn't have a tail, but she does have cat ears. And she's wearing kind of a bikini. The only thing I had problems with her was up here in her hair. The printer did string a little. That kind of messed it up a bit. You can see the little globs right in there. But, I mean, a little sanding and painting, and I doubt you'd even notice. And here is the Timberwolf Prime. I printed him at a lower... I didn't print him at fine, which is what the other two prints are. This is a normal print, so you'll notice a little more of the lines. But if I had tried to do him in a finer print, it had taken more than a day. Again, can you focus, camera? It's just a chunk of white. He did take forever to get out of the printer, and as you can see, there's still a few little strings and stuff I need to get cleaned up. Like I said, the Venture's getting a new bumper. So we'll go back over to the printer, which is now up to 16% complete. Again, if you're looking for an entry-level printer just to kind of have fun with, I would say check the Ender3 Pro out. It seems like a very solid machine. There's some tutorials on how to really get a little more out of it. I know you can change the print bed, as a lot of people seem to like printing on glass instead of whatever that little mat is. So, and then up on top here, again, more anime figures. So, hope that kind of gives a little overview about the 3D printer itself. Like I said, I'm really happy with it and looking forward to really getting some crazy stuff printed. As always, hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.